Hey, hey, everyone, and happy Monday morning. It is March 18th. I can't even believe that yesterday was St. Patty's Day. Like, I did nothing for St. Patty's Day that had anything to do with St. Patrick's Day, but I saw a lot of things in my social feed about us out there celebrating and drinking green beer. I guess everybody was doing yesterday. I was spending time with some of my grandkids and with my husband, disconnecting to get ready for the conference this week. We have the Empower and Elevate conference on Friday. Katrina is one of the speakers. Why did I have Katrina as a speaker? I will tell you, everything she does is powerful. She has had so many amazing clients that have just propelled in business. And there isn't anything that she doesn't do to help you with your business. That's what I love about her. And today we're talking about how do you move the needle in your business without working more? I mean, that's a really big question. So Katrina is really known as that jumpstart your biz coach, which I think is cool because I always think of like, poof, like jumpstarting something that's not working correctly. That's what we need to remember, because no matter where you are in your business, there's always a next level, and you always need to learn something new to get there. You can't keep doing the same things you've been doing, right, Katrina? So she's a speaker, she's a best-selling author, and a book publisher. Katrina, welcome to today's Spotlight.
Thank you. Hi, good to be here, you guys. And yeah, Jumpstart is for any stage of the business. And the reason I love giving people a jumpstart is I love to hone in on what's not working, what's missing, and what are the opportunities that you can take advantage of right now to move the needle, make more money, get more clients, and not work so hard, ideally. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've created that lifestyle for yourself. Do you want to talk about that for a minute and the lifestyles that you've helped your clients create?
Yes. And I will tell you that times change, right? So we're talking about how to tweak things when times are changing. Because honestly, it used to be a lot easier before social media. Before, in the beginning days of social media, I will say, from like 2007, 8 to 12, 14, 15, maybe, until they got really creative with their algorithms. And now it's harder, right? So it is harder to reach as many people. And you actually have to do more on social media. So the lifestyle has to switch, right? So like I have to do different things now in my marketing, lead gen, follow up, all that, than I did have to do 10 years ago. And I've been doing this for 22 years. So we didn't even have social media when I first started. And I had to learn all this stuff just like anybody else, and learn how to keep navigating and tweaking what we're doing. And it's so important to stay on top of what you need to do, I think. So, I mean, you're having an event, you're running ads on Facebook, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I had an event in January. I tried to run ads and I was banned from running ads. I'm like, go figure. Like, I don't know. Like, so some things you want to do and you want to invest in, you can't even do. So you have to find ways around it. So you have to be available. You have to know a lot. I say a lot about a lot. You don't have to master it all and do it all yourself, but you have to know how all these things work in and through your website, your business, how it all flows together, and about all the different things. You can't just go, la, 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 I don't want to see, la, 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 I don't want to hear about this or that or whatever, just because you aren't comfortable, you don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
You have to learn more these days than we ever have. Again, you don't have to do it all, but you need to have a good understanding, which means training, going to workshops, hiring mentors. You have to have that.
Yeah.
There's no way around not getting that kind of support and training in this day and age as a business owner. No way. Okay. So stop thinking that you're going to figure everything out yourself. It's such an unrealistic expectation.
Tell me how events play into this, because I know my event's coming up on Friday, March 22nd. And so it was a really good plug to get on the news. They love any type of women's events that are happening in March because it's it's Women's History Month. So that was easy to do. There's a lot of advertising that's happening from everywhere, from, cards that I hand out to mail, to the news, to Facebook ads, to showing up at networking events in person, sponsoring tables sponsored events for it, specifically months ahead of time. But you do a lot of events. And what I love about events is it kind of takes a lot of that learning and crunches it into one. You do masterminds. I met one of your clients, Susan Glusica, from masterminds you've done, working with you directly. She blew up her business. Like
Yeah.
the jumpstart you did for her, she blew up her business. And I was referring her to people in my community because of the work she was doing and receiving commissions from that. Right. So it all
Yeah.
goes around in a circle. So tell me
Well,
about that.
the things you just mentioned a second ago, you guys need to go rewind and listen back, are all the things we have to do these days. Like
Yeah.
some people think they just need to post on social media
No.
and send a couple emails or maybe speak to a couple different groups to fill something. It is no, you have to do more things. That doesn't mean you're working 24/7, 365 in your business. Okay.
No.
You just have to do it differently.
Yeah.
You have to do it differently, which means you need the advice on what to spend time on, what not to spend time on, how to sort things, how to get your order of importance in place. Susan's a great example because she came to me. She already had one business coach. She also had another coach for high-end sales, and she was hiring me for marketing, even though we talked about so many other things other than marketing. She had like 3 coaches going at the same time, right? Because she wanted massive revenue monetization. She wanted massive monetization. I can't say the word. And so she invested heavily, and now she's where she needs to. And it took a few years to get her up to speed. I mean, we had to create a new website for her and everything. I mean, there was a lot of different things that were involved with really elevating somebody's positioning, their platform, their presence, their reach, and their marketing prowess, and all the stuff. And so you just can't hide your head in the sand and just do 1 or 2 things. You got to look at all the things that have to flow together. And I have another client, Darla, who is a nonprofit. You'd think, oh, well, a nonprofit, they just need to do fundraisers or, so apply for grants and stuff. But Darla, I tell you, she was with me for 7 years. When she came to me, she was making 0 in her nonprofit. She was putting money into the nonprofit, right? She had a for-profit business that was doing well. It was a therapy business. And the nonprofit was another therapy business, but it was on a sliding scale or free sessions for people, right? So it was a really great opportunity. And within a year, well, it was 8 months, because her husband gave her an ultimatum that if you don't start making money, profit for yourself in this little, fun thing you're doing on the side, your passion project, then you got to give it up, is what he said. And he said it lovingly. He's a good guy. But in 8 months, she was taking $3,000 a month home, like, right on top of everything else. And then it grew to $15,000 a month in 3 years. And so like, that's on top of her profit, and that's on top of expanding the business. So, but the thing that Darla did different is she did everything I told her to do, whether she liked it or not, whether she was comfortable or not. She hated being on video. She hated thinking about going on TV, but those are the 2 things I said. You have to be visible. You have to be video. You have to go on TV. And she's been on TV probably a dozen times now in the media. She just wrote a book. Now she's on a book tour. Now she's getting calls from big media. Like, oh my God, who writes a book as a nonprofit? Nobody. But we're doing things differently because she wants huge growth. Okay. So it's there's so many different factors to look at when you're growing a business.
So you have a lot of trainings on your website. Tell us what some of the trainings are that you have that could help someone who really is in that place where they have a business, they have been growing their business. It's very slow. Maybe they're still not making enough money, and so they haven't left corporate America yet, or they're just not generating the income. That's what I find. It's never that they don't love what they do, Katrina. They're not generating the income they need to generate. So they feel like they're working more hours, and they just create themselves a job, just like they had in corporate America. It's the biggest pitfall out there.
Because you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what to focus on.
Yeah.
And so many people focus on the wrong things. Or you're listening to podcasts and you're listening to webinars and these summits out there where people are just spewing advice at you, but they don't know what you're doing. They don't know what your goals are. They don't know your lifestyle dreams. They don't know who your target audience is. They don't know what you tried or haven't tried. They don't know your personality style. So they don't know how to advise you. if somebody is advising you and they're not looking at all those other things, please don't take their advice. Don't just do what they say to do unless they get to know, like, and trust you. That is why most of my practice is one-on-one, because I don't want to just blanketly tell people, do this, do that, right? But as far as the trainings, the free training link was up, and that one is all, there's one on there about websites, all about websites, success secrets. I just re-recorded that because it is so critical. And every single person on the call live, there was about 9 people registered, and about 14 of them showed up, and they all took away like probably a dozen things that they needed to fix on their website that they didn't even think about. Okay. And so you need to go look at that, because too many people are half-assing their website. They're doing their own website. They're trying to skimp on their website. This is not the place to skimp. It is the one place everybody goes to look at you, from social media, from speaking gigs, from networking on Zoom, from in person. They go to your website. Do not skimp on your website. You have to put money into your website. You have to get really clear strategy and systems and technology and functionality on your website. And you have to put more of you in there too. So that's one of the trainings. There's probably 6 or 7 others. And then there's a bunch of paid trainings too. So, I mean, like, I'm very thorough with step-by-step how to do things. If you want something, I mean, the trainings are all under $100. And I really lowered them because I want them to be easy for you, so you can just get shit done and do things and move forward faster.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you've brought up a lot of good points there. Usually it's just a knowledge gap, and you and I are such a great complement to each other for that, because I just really believe so heavily in visibility and getting yourself out there. Google is like your resume as an entrepreneur. Someone's Googling you, they're looking you up. They're going to see what you've done, where you've been, where, what's happening. They're going to click on your website. They're going to go to your website. There's so much more than just having a website that looks amazing, functions amazing, really explains you, where have you been? What are you doing? That's your resume. Like, where's the credibility that puts you to be the authority in the position you're in, that someone's going to say, I trust her, I want to hire her. I mean, they're even going to your Google reviews and reading them, because that's what people are looking at today. So what are people saying about your recommendations on LinkedIn? Have you asked for recommendations on LinkedIn from other people? These are the small things that so many individuals don't think about. But when you're showing up in these areas and you have these amazing reviews, and they're seeing that you're on other people's platforms, and that, all of the speaking opportunities, or maybe you have a book, or maybe you're on a podcast, when they see all of that, it builds that credibility. So they trust you and know that you're the person for them to get the results they're looking for. If you don't have that there, then really, what are they, why would they hire you? They need to trust you. They need to know you. They need to know you're the right person for them. So I'm glad that you talked about your free trainings. We talked about events briefly, but why do you host events, Katrina? Because you bring people together in masterminds that you travel around, and masterminds are my absolute favorite thing to attend, because it's just kind of coming together and fostering this space to be able to just bounce ideas off of each other. What have you found coming out of that people have taken and applied?
And it's about problem solving and building confidence. I mean, when you go to a mastermind, you usually come in with an idea that you aren't sure. You want to get some validation. You want to get some thought around it on how to really make it profitable. You might come with a little self-doubt or imposter syndrome around, like, raising your rates or doing something like an event or your own retreat or whatever it is. And then all of that gets laid out, the bad things get squashed. Your negative mindset goes away. You're elevated to more confidence, more belief in yourself, and you usually walk out with the exact plan on what to do around the thing or multiple things. And that's what happens in a mastermind. And I've been doing them too since 2006. 2005 or 6 was my first mastermind way back when. And I've been in, I don't even know, dozens of mastermind retreats since then. So I do them differently. I used to do them as part of my annual program. So you pay to be in the program, and then you get the retreats, right? So now I do them separate. So you can just go to a mastermind retreat and try it out. And the reason I do those or my events is because people have to experience you in order to want to know that if it's a good fit to work with you.
Yeah.
And a 1 hour webinar is okay. But a 3-day deep dive mastermind or even a 90-minute one-on-one could be really successful. I do a lot of those these days. I do a lot of half day or VIP days because people need that jump start, right? And so they need to know exactly how to do something, get their confidence going, and then go. And then it's a good way to experience you as well. So if you're thinking about hosting them yourself, you should definitely do that. But get a plan together. Because I have a client who wanted to do a retreat this year. Actually, she came to me to start a coaching business so she could leave her job. And what she realized is she likes her job. She's a VP of marketing. Okay. So she likes her job. Most people that come to me don't like their job. They want to get out as soon as possible. But she actually likes her job and it pays her very well. And she has 3 little kids. And after we started going through all the stuff she needed to do to be an entrepreneur, she's like, I think I'll keep the job. But she wants to write. So she's writing a book, and she was already in my book last year, and she wants to write and do retreats. So we're building a very simple side business with higher end retreats and clients. So she's not like wasting her time with low end stuff, right? So we've changed. This is why I'm saying you got to pivot, because she came in thinking one thing, and within a year we've pivoted and changed the whole focus of what she's doing and how she's doing it and what she's going to sell, etc. So she's had to change a lot. It's been uncomfortable, but I've helped her and been with her hand-holding. I was just messaging her this morning, right when I woke up at like 7 a.m. because she was asking me about sales tax, returns. And I'm like, you sold like $15 in sales tax, for God's sakes. Forget about it. Who cares? Nobody cares.
So if you really want to move the needle in your business without working more, then you've got to get the knowledge, you've got to get the training, and you've got to understand what are those things that are going to move the needle. And a lot of it, creates your sales funnel. So strategically, if you don't know how to do that, hiring someone like Katrina as your business coach is a smart move. And like she just said, you could do it for 90 minutes, an hour. You can do it for a half day, a VIP day. You can work with her for a longer period of time. I always say, find what works for you, but get with the person that you know is going to push you and is going to get you where you need to go. Because why waste our time? It's just a waste of time. And if you're busy every day, you're probably not working on the things that you need to be working on that are moving the needle for what it is that you're doing. And how do you identify that? You have a call with Katrina. So definitely go onto her website, check out her free trainings, check out her events. I've got all of the links posted. Reach out to her on LinkedIn. Right here, you can reach out to her on LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube. So Katrina, thank you for being a member of our community. Thank you for co-hosting our masterminds in the community for the LEAP community. That really serves a lot of the members, and they get a lot of value out of that as well as being a member of the community. So we invite you to join the community today for sure, and make sure you schedule yourself a call with Katrina. Katrina, thank you so much for not only being my friend, but also for being a value add to the LEAP community. We really appreciate you.
You're welcome. I'll see you Thursday.
All right, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye for now.